And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I do every day. How are you all doing? It is a new day. My camera looks a little. Maybe I need to wipe my camera. Where's my cloth? I'm like, what's going on here? Hold on a second. Let me just see what's going on here. I don't usually do this because this is my. There we go. I think we're looking better. Okay, sorry about that. And well, the weekend is over and a new week has begun, and we are now in November. Happy November to everyone that's out there. It's a new month. I know when I'm hanging out with my African friends overseas, anytime there's a new month, it's like a big excitement to it. They're like, Happy November, Happy December, Happy. It's like a big day, a big thing to celebrate the new month coming in. I'm not sure. Is that, I mean, in Nigeria, I know they do it. South Africa, I know they do it. Do they do it anywhere else in the Caribbean or any place where like they celebrate the new month? Curious. Curious minds would like to know. So, how are you all doing on this wonderful in New York City? It's kind of cool, but nice. Next week, this time in New York City, it's going to be no higher than the 40s. It's going to be cold next week, this time. Won't matter to me because I'll be in North Carolina. So it should be a little warmer there. But yes, so how you guys doing? Listen, oh, wait a minute. There's a new shuffle going on in Who's Here. The gold goes to Lisa Seeley. She's the first person in the building this morning. Woohoo! Oh, morning, she says. Morning, guys. In the silver lane is Chris R. Good morning, she says. And then in third is the wonderful Aya. Grand Rising, everyone, she says. Grand Rising. Then we have Kelly A. Then we have Kelly A saying, Good morning, everyone. And then we have the wonderful, great Jazzy Jazz saying, Good morning, beautiful people. So I don't know what you did this weekend, but I had a beautiful weekend. Friday, I ended up going to spend. I think did I mention. Wait, was that Friday? I think Friday. Was it? Now I'm confused. Yeah, it was Friday. Friday, I ended up going down to visit my mom, hung out, relaxed. Then it was Halloween. Obviously, it was Halloween in New York City. Well, across the country, around the world. I didn't know people around the world celebrate Halloween now. Halloween is celebrated in Korea. They had a big drone event in Korea, Seoul. And so that was pretty cool to watch on TV. But yeah, so I ended up hanging out after I spent time with you guys. I got myself together, went downtown, went to Manhattan, spend time with my mom, went to visit her, went grocery shopping because I'd always leave her with olive oil and for her skin. And then what else I did? I did grocery shopping, went to visit my mom. Then I also voted. Well, now obviously today the early voting is over. I hope you got it in. But in New York, hundreds of thousands more voters voted this year in early voting than in years past for the mayoral election. Folks are engaged. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you, for those that are those that are following New York politics, who do you think is going to win? Zoran or Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo? And I voted. I will tell you who I voted for. I voted for Zoran. And so someone asked me, I said, Ron, will you tell your community who you voted for? I said, absolutely. Why wouldn't I tell you who I voted for? I mean, well, he's the best of the three. He is the best of the three. Think about it. Andrew Cuomo, and I mentioned this to my family. We've had this conversation in my family. Andrew Cuomo was a governor. He was the governor, and he did some good things in New York. I will not deny him his gold, pearls, trophies. He did some great things in New York City. One is he did great when it came for our infrastructure. We got new airports, right? JFK, LaGuardia. We got all new bridges. The Bayonne between we had the Bayonne, well, that was in Jersey, but that's called New York City Transit, Port Authority. But we got new bridges. We got the Tappan Zee Bridge was torn down and rebuilt. We got the Pulaski Bridge torn down and rebuilt. We got the Brooklyn Bridge redone, and we got the Manhattan Bridge fixed up. He did a lot for New York City infrastructure. That was his strong point. Now, there's lots of debate about him and the COVID. Anyway, one thing he did do, he was engaging during COVID. He was online. He was sharing. Every day he was on television. I mean, give the man his kudos. But he did some bad things too. He did some bad things, and he had to leave office. He had to leave office. And I was like, wait a minute. Leave. I don't understand when people of that, they're all from the same era. Trump, Cuomo, they're from that same era of they don't know how to go away. Go away. Like even like O.J. Simpson. You get off, you may have committed the crime. You got off, just go into hiding, right? I mean, obviously he's no longer with us, but right after that, he could have gone into hiding. Didn't have to go to jail. There's something interesting about the mindset of folks like this, is that Cuomo could just have easily not ran for the mayoral office of New York City, right? Why would you run for the mayoral office when you used to be the governor? Right? You don't demote, you go up. The next place from governorship is presidency. Don't understand that. Don't understand why he just did not go away. Right? Go away for a couple of years. He's young enough to run for president still. Right? Go away after the alleged affair situation that he had, or the sexual misconduct, or touchy people. Any of those things. He could have gone away and become a professor at a college. He could have gone away, became a speaker, and wrote a book, became a speaker, which he did write a book. He could have wrote another book. He could have just lived a humble, quiet, beautiful life as a former politician. Or he could have helped other politicians become better politicians. He could have been a mentor to many politicians. But no, the ego. And when he says his case about Zoran is young and he can't make decisions, he's never ran an office before. He's never been in office. Well, everybody begins at the number 0. Everyone has 0 experience at one time of being the mayor of New York or being the governor of New York. Every single person has at least 0 knowledge before they take that office. So that's not an excuse why not to vote for Zoran. That's weak. That's a weak excuse. I have to tell you though, the young folks of New York City. Now, the young folks, when I say young folks, I mean 20s and 30s. They don't usually vote. they usually have a lot to say, but they don't usually vote. These young folks now are engaged. When I was living at my old apartment, I got several rounds of them coming by the door and saying, "Are you voting? Are you registered to vote? Are you voting? Who you voting for?" Wanted to explain who Zaron is. I would say, "Oh," I said, "You don't have to worry about that. I'm voting for Zaron. I'm with you." They were like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much!" And they were so excited and so happy. It was like I said something like I gave them $1,000,000. I didn't give them any money, didn't give them anything, and they were like so excited about me saying, as an older person, "I'm for Zaron." And they were like, "Wow." Then they went on to the next door. I said, "You don't have to waste time with me. Next, go to the next neighbor. Go to the next neighbor." Right? Does anyone feel that way? I mean, there's a close, there's a close, everyone's looking at these elections because not only are they re- uh reformation of the people in office, but it's also a reformation on Trump and the Republicans. If anyone votes for a Republican in this day and age, you have lost yours, you have lost it all. You have no ability to reason. You cannot be trusted. Just saying. I know people say, "Ron, don't you can't let politics make you." I mean, friends are friends, right? But I'm very old schoolish. If you can't be trusted to make simple decisions in just common life, I am also going to say, he's probably or she's probably not able to make those decisions in our friendship and relationships. Anyway, let's go back to some more hellos. I see Mr. Bryson is in the building. He says, "What's up, Ron? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the new month of November. It's a new week. Halloween is officially over. Now we in Christmas music kick off the holiday season." I feel you guys know I'm a humbug when it comes to Christmas, but I've been told, Chris and I had our morning powwow as we always do, and he did make a good point to say, Ron, Christmas is felt differently when you have somebody in your life, and I go, okay, maybe. I said, okay, maybe. Anyways, but I consider there's some truth to that, I guess. Right? If you have someone significant, special in your life, then you feel a different kind of way about Christmas. I have to give Chris is listening. I'm sure he is. I'm giving Chris his flowers and shout out because yes, that was some good wisdom there. Lisa says, AI heat heap won't start either. So now they are taking away people's heat. Mm. Jazzy says, "Last night I met Chris in person." Did you? You met Chris in person? Oh, wow. And Lisa says, "I wonder who. I don't trust polls anymore." I don't trust polls either, Lisa. I'm with you. The polls have never been right. Let me going back, reframe. The polls have not been right in the last 15 years. Gotta be specific, right? Polls used to work, but polls don't work now because there's a whole portion of our society that you can't just make phone calls to and take their and poll them, right? Most people and young people live on smartphones. Shoot, most of us now live on smartphones. It's not just young people, everyone is pretty much on a smartphone. So who are they polling? It's a whole different world. And let's see here. G is in the building. She says, "Good day, working and listening." It's so good. Yeah, G's on a mission this morning. She's getting work done, as we like to say in our working little community. She's getting the sugar honey iced tea done. But she would say the actual word, right? Good day, working and listening. Lisa says, "I don't like any of them, honestly." Hmm. Lisa, You notice that I did not say that Zoran is the worst. I mean, so he's the best of the worst, or like you know how they always say, "Oh, he's the best of the bad." You guys know I follow American politics for a very long time, and I am finding it very difficult, not just in New York politics, but in politics across the country. There, there are very few leaders that you can be excited about. There are very few leaders that spark you to do better. There are very few leaders in politics that inspire. There are very few leaders in the political circle. There's some, but there are few that engage with the public and make the public feel like we can do anything for the better of the country. Those days are, I mean, I don't want to say the days are gone because I really believe that there are going to be some young people, and my bet, well, if I was a betting man, is for the young people. Young people are interesting because when I say young, I mean the 20-year-olds, the 20 plusers, the 20s. They they have lived the last 20 years of their life since they were born in a very scattered, crisis-filled world of politics. They don't know of stability. The 20-year-old, 20 plus old, like the 20s in the 20s, less than 30, more than 20, their political world is so different from ours. You know, we believe in stability. We believe in stability. We believe in getting things done. And we've been inspired by some, but it's been, the young folks today have gone through so much. And I believe that they are going to be the ones that say, we are done with traditional politics. And you can see it. They're changing it. They're changing it all up. They're changing the way they are responding to the crisis that's ahead of us, whether it be global climate change, whether it be leadership. We all know the old guard is no good. Yes, I'm going to say it. The Schumers, yeah, the Schumers trying to be traditionals and trying to be political, playing by the rules. Those days are over. The Senate is the Senate, but the Senate needs to come alive and be in tune to what the public wants. No one in the Democratic Party wants weak. No one in the Democratic Party wants traditional, especially the 20-year-olds, the 20 plusers. They want change. And what do we say? When do we want it? We want it now. I love the young people. I love watching them in politics. I love listening to them. They have a lot of great ideas. If you are 60 years old, that makes me part of the 60-year-old crowd since now I'm 61. We have to step us. I mean, we have our place. Don't get me wrong. The 60-year-olds, we have our place. 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s. We're here to guide, to give wisdom. But the young people, they have the energy. They have new ideas. They see the world in a way that we do not see it. I love hanging out with my younger friends. My younger friends, they school me all the time. Yeah. It's so good. That's why I'm a believer. You heard me say it many times. I believe that in to have a balanced life, there must be a Timothy in your life for those that read the Bible. There must be a Timothy, meaning that someone you are pouring wisdom, life experiences into. But then you need a Paul in your life, right? I'm talking about the exchange, the relationship of Timothy and Paul. You need a Paul in your life that's giving that you can gain wisdom and learn from. Like my friends who are in their 70s, I'm learning from. They're in their 70s, some are in their 80s, and I love talking to them. It's wisdom. If you don't have younger people you're talking to and you don't have older people you're not talking to, you got to have both. You got to be learning from both ends of the spectrum. Young people give us so much information. Today's Motivation Monday, so I got Focus Friday up here. Duh. How did I get there? What? This is motivation. Why did anyone say Motivation Monday? It is Motivation Monday. I would challenge everyone, and that's in the range of my voice, to listen to young people. Listen to them. Listen to how they think about the world. Listen to how they process. You'll become wiser. I become wiser. But yet, you must have seniors in your life that are schooling you and giving you wisdom and saying, oh, you may think it this way, but you may want to do it. Maybe try what you're doing, but maybe put a little twist on it. This is how we did it back in the day, but make it work for you today. Make it work. Don't do what we did. Just use the foundation and make it work. Do it your way. Like someone that says, "Oh, Ron, what do you think about photography?" Blah 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 blah. And what are your thoughts about this? I'm like, well, I have my own ideas, but you know what? Get out there and take the camera and do it. Do it. Pick up the camera and just photograph the world. You'll be a better photographer for it. Okay. Who else? What else do you guys say? Oh, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. The algorithms do not know that we're here. And I did not purposely tune into Instagram. I am not linked Instagram today. Did not link it. Trying to not link as much to Instagram. Not because I don't like Instagram. It has its purpose. Good day watching. Okay, good. Let me see what you guys are saying. And Lisa, yeah, he redid the bridge, the Tappan Zee Bridge, and then called it the Cuomo Bridge, which was named after his father. Yes, he did. He did. Again, that's that world. That's the world that they come from. I see here. How was the boy? Is his mind? That's where you saw Chris at the Boys Is Mine tour. That's right. Chris told me he was there. He didn't tell me he saw you, Jazzy, this morning. Well, we talked about so much stuff this morning, so we always have these great deep conversations. Cass says, wow, look, 11:11. Blessings all. La, la, la. And let's see here. But so Lisa says, Chris Cuomo turned out to be so disappointing also. Man, Lisa, you hitting all the notes today. Yeah, I agree. But this is what happens, unfortunately. You see it in history, you see it in a lot of family legacies, especially when someone was poor or working, I say working poor or working class, and then they become wealthy and they become part of the political dynasties of the country. Their children didn't have to work for their name, but the father did. Now, Mario Cuomo was a great governor. I mean, I'm sure there was some other stuff. I mean, I was young. For what I know, but I'm sure there was some things that were, you can't become politically. I don't want to say I mean, all politicians are corrupt, I mean, I don't believe that, but there are some temptations that are presented, and there are some negotiation that is required, and there's some give and take, and sometimes it's not always good. So I don't know what Mario Cuomo did in his years, but he did go down as one of New York State's best governors. So his children were raised in having their father's legacy. And you can use your father's legacy that will open doors for you. But you didn't necessarily have to work as hard as your father did. And I think that's what's wrong with Andrew Cuomo and Chris Cuomo. I think because because they're Cuomos, they were able to get opportunities that you and I wouldn't be able to get, you know, because of the name. Having your father's legacy opens doors for you. And unfortunately, as we've seen in history, for the history students in the building, the children usually are just a pale image of their, where they inherit their legacy from. And they become jaded, distorted. Because they didn't have to work hard for their legacy, they squander the name of their amazing parents, if you want to say so. So just saying, just a thought there. But yeah, Chris Cuomo was also a disappointment. When I look at if I happen to see him online somewhere, I'm like, dog, you were, you know, talking about falling. These people fall from grace. And then you have to say this, you have to say, okay, I have to give them a little grace, a little mercy, right? I guess so. Kimmy Kim says, good morning. Good morning. And Dr. Tachi's in the house. She says, hello, all. Make sure you hit the like, y'all. And Lisa's on fire today, y'all. She's getting the star for class participation. Lisa said, the problem is Zoran is writing checks he can't pay for. The young people are idealistic, and his idea sounds great. There is absolutely no money to pay for it. Mm. Ooh, Lisa. Yes, Lisa. I'm with you. However, though, if I may throw the monkey wrench into the machine, I do like a lot of his ideas, and I think a lot of them are doable. It's just a matter how you manage the funding of the city. And yes, you're going to have to tax the rich. Now, will the rich really leave New York City? That's a question no one knows. Because, like, I saw this black woman that was on this morning on one of my feeds, and she would say, "Oh, come on, y'all. Folks are not leaving New York. Rich people are not leaving New York because regardless of how much they're being taxed, they still make out like bandits here. Even if they would tax another 2%. Literally, if they taxed all of these billionaires and millionaires in New York City 2%, you can get all of it accomplished. There's almost 9 million people that live in New York City. New York City has more millionaires and billionaires than any other place in the country. It could be free buses could be a possibility, which was not his idea. As a matter of fact, it was proposed years ago that the buses should be free in New York City and the transportation, because they analyze that how many people cheat the system versus the people that pay, and the ability to get around in the city would be easy if transportation was free. Then you will have more productivity in the city. So this idea is not a new idea. I remember this idea was passed. I do remember it being in the Bloomberg administration. I do remember it. I do remember. So, yep. But the money can be there. All you gotta do is just raise taxes by 2%. 2% is a lot of money when it comes to the billionaires. Good morning, Kelly A says to everyone else, and I see here, Bryson says, how's everybody enjoying daylight savings time ending? Did everybody set the clocks back? Well, since everybody's here, they must have. But Bryson, I will tell you, how many of you? I need to see your comments. How many of you function well during this? Ugh, I hate when the time changes. I just wish the time would just stay the same all year round, and I don't like the darkness. I like light. I like being out and about. Now it's natural to get darker as we get towards Christmas because once we get to the winter solstice, then we pause. That's as dark as it's going to get. And then I think after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then we start getting light again. Why do we have to go to extra darkness? Don't like it. But I'm faring well, Bryson. How many of you are faring well after the time change? I see here. Well, let me just see if you guys answered. Did anyone? I was texting it. I agree. Good morning. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, it's okay. So no one's answered that question. Moving right along. You're not participating. Let's see here what you guys have in here. Okay, let's Chris Homo. Okay, got that. Okay, here we go. Jazzy says, good morning, Bryson. It was everything so good and worth every penny I paid. I'm a huge Brandy fan, so my whole heart was fulfilled. The ladies did their thing, all of them. How many of you are going to this concert tour with is it Monica and Brandy? Yeah. Chris said it was amazing. Chris says it was amazing. Hell, Adrian's in the building. He said that's why it's called cuffing season. Cuffing season. Chris says, I am. There's Chris. He says, I'm here. There he is. Kelly says, that's cool, Jazzy. Chris took great pictures. So check out Chris's platform. And Chris also says, yes, Jazzy. And I saw each other at the Boy Is Mine concert in Baltimore. Lisa says, because we all thought Kamala would win. We all thought Kamala would win. But we all know there's something. Not into conspiracy theories, but I believe in a conspiracy when it comes to Kamala. Chris says, the boy is mine. Dr. Tachi says, faulty polls are a result of faulty collection and interpretation. Yes. Kaz says, yes, multitasking, laundry, homeschooling, listening to this great live, and just finish the workshop. Good job. Oh, are you part of Gwendolyn's workshop or another workshop? Let me know. Cass says, GR Houston saw the email later. Will follow. Oh, yep, there we go. That's the answer to my question. Okay. Jaddy says, Chris Edwards, it was great seeing you in person. Look at that. We got a great family. We got a great community here. People checking out and looking out for each other. I says, I just found out on Friday, Five Below sells banana flavored now laters for 50 cents. That was our conversation for Friday, our Halloween conversation. For those that missed it, we had a good time talking about candy. Yes, and a bunch of other stuff. But that was Friday. Halloween, movies. We had a good time on Friday. Hey, Elise is in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Also, Elise was out with some artwork, I think, on Saturday. Was it Saturday, Elise, that you were at an art exhibition? Okay, Arlesia is in the building. What's going on, Arlesia? She says, good morning. And agree. Okay, we're moving through here, all your texts. Okay, and then we're going to get right to our Motivation Monday. And this one's going to be a repeat on Motivation Monday. And because it was such a good weekend. It's Brandy and Monica's celebrating 27th anniversary of the biggest hit, Boy It's Mine. Dr. Tati says, from what I remember, Cuomo was a good governor. I was super little when he was running. Yeah, Papa Cuomo was a good governor, and like I said, Andrew Cuomo did a lot of good stuff for this country, for our state. I mean, unfortunately, there are no perfect men or women. There are no perfect people. People make mistakes. Anthony Rowland says, "Good morning, family." Good morning, Antonio. And see here. They do free bus in the summer. Bryson's also contributing with. So as we got two elections in of New York City, Virginia Saturday night, Barack Obama was at the rally over the weekend, and Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom at the rally in LA for Prop 50. Let's linger here. Let's linger here. That's why this community is so educated. I love this. You are well versed. I don't ever, well, I do have a list, but I don't really use my list because you guys are generating the conversation. If you did not hear Barack Obama's speeches this weekend, go online and listen. I was in the kitchen washing dishes yesterday, and I was like, amen, amen. Barack Obama did an amazing job at both rallies. He was in Jersey, he was in Virginia. Then you had, again, like you said, Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom over in LA. Yo, this is what Democrats need to be doing. I mean, come on, Democrats. Y'all gotta do it. Barack Obama brought it home. I mean, he painted the picture. His speech was like a coloring book. He was painting the picture perfect. If you haven't heard his speech from the Jersey or the Virginia, look it up on YouTube. It is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Man, every time I hear Barack Obama, I go, this is what presidents should sound like. Not the buffoon that we have right now in the White House, and literally tearing down the country and the White House. But yes, Prop 50, y'all. For those that don't know, Prop 50 is very, very important. We need to be able to legally redistrict across the country. Every Democratic governor and independent governor and every Republican governor that's not following this orange turd, everyone should be saying, wait a minute, we need to manipulate, we need to maneuver, we need to gerrymander our states to fight against what these MAGA folks are doing. Because there's gerrymandering going on in not all of them, but a lot of the red states. They're doing gerrymandering, and they're doing it, and they don't care. We can't say, oh, it's just a tick for tack. No. Democrats, you got to have an imagination. Your imagination should say, if they push me 1 inch, I'm taking 10. If they push me 1 inch, I'm taking 10 inches. I am giving it my all. Every single governor and their legislators should be redistricting all of their states in the favor of the Democrats. Don't try to live with procedure. Procedure is what got us into this mess. You cannot fight a war politically with someone that does not respect the rules of engagement. But let's do it. Prop 50, LA. And not only LA, there should be a Prop 50s going on all over the country. For those like New York, we can't really just do it. I don't know why it's not on the ballot for Tuesday to change our and to redistrict our state. Everybody should be redistricting your state. We must win this battle. Every battle won is a battle won towards winning the war. Lisa says, no, they are not. Huckle says she won't do many of the things he needs her approval for, and the other things the council has to approve, and they won't do it either. This is the problem. Because a lot of the governors are on board, but they have horrible counselors. The council, mm, the state legislatures. And he says, I doubt they leave. It's still New York City. They're still driving. They're going to pivot somewhere to make up that 2%. There, say it. That's right, Anthony. You know how we roll. Rich people are going, for those that don't know, let's go back to that. During the Roosevelt years, do you know what the tax was for the rich in America? Right now, I think right now it's like 40 something percent, maybe it's 42%, maybe it's 40%. And that's before the loophole. So most rich folks do not pay taxes in America because they have all the loopholes. But do you know what the taxation on the rich during the Roosevelt years were in America and before Roosevelt? Does anyone know? Does any of the students in the class, any students in the class of history, do you know what the taxation was on rich people, millionaires in America? What was the taxation? Let me clue you in on the Roosevelt years and the years of the 40s and the 20s and the 30s and all those years back. How do you think we got the interstates? How do you think we had money to pay for education? How do you think we had money to pay for the good good deal? How do you think we pay for all of that? How do you think we pay for schools around the country? How do you think we pay for our soldiers to go to school when they came back from war? How do you think we were able to do that? Does anyone know the taxation number during the Roosevelt years? Come on, someone just go to Google. I could just do it myself, but I want you to participate. What was the taxation percentage during the Roosevelt years? Thank you, Antonio. 79% and as high as 94%. And did it make the country worse? No. It made the country better because people back then understood. Yes, they did try to get out of there paying the taxes. No different. Rich people want to stay rich. But taxation was average of 92%. He had 79 to 94%. Rich people paid taxes at 92% average, 94% at its highest, 79% at its lowest for almost a century. How do you think we got the post office? How do you think we got roads? How do you think we got the railroads? How did you think we get all of the things that you love about society today was paid for by high taxes on the rich? because the motto was, if you became rich, you didn't become rich by yourself. You became rich because of all of the poor people, the middle class people that were working for you. So by doing so, we are going to create better infrastructure so people can get to work faster, the interstate. People can get to places faster, do things better, work better hours. Because no one becomes rich by themselves. You need human resources to become rich. Right? Anthony said 94% was during World War II. Come on, my historians. Come on, historians. You know I'm about history. I know some of you, I know a lot of you are like me. History. We don't make decisions based on our gut feelings in this community. It's all about the facts. How do you think America became America? Well, there's some other things, but I won't go back into. I won't go back that far. But in the 21st century, in the 20, sorry, my bad, the 20th century. In the 20th century, how do you think America was able to do so much? How do you think money was available for Social Security? How do you think money was available for Pell Grants? Remember those Pell Grants we used to get when we were in school? What do you think the money was raised for? For student loans, for the SNAP, and all the things that we have today. And for all of the people out there in the world, if you don't get the education, you don't know what's going on. For all those people that are upset with Zoran because he uses the word socialist. Socialism is a part of America's fabric. Whether the Republicans make it a bad word. If you say, oh, I'm a socialist, Bernie's a socialist. But when you look at America in its structure, it's all connected to socialist ideas. School lunches, public education. Those are all socialist ideas. And they work. They work. Because when you take care of the least of them, your whole society rises up. You cannot have a society where it's only rich people. It doesn't work. It cannot sustain itself. Socialism is a part of America. Right? We would not have highway systems. The highways that we love, that we get on and for Thanksgiving and we travel across the country, those highways would not be around if it wasn't for rich people paying their taxes. Socialism is not a bad word. They're like, you always see the Republicans, and I say as a former Republican, they would say, oh, you know what? We don't want to be like Europeans. They're so socialist. Everything about our society is socialism. A bit of it connected to it. Think about our farmers. Think about our farmers. Our farmers produce enough grains and, agriculture, enough that we can feed the world. But who subsidizes for these people? When they don't have a good harvest, who subsidized them? The government. Remember those years we used to have government cheese? Everyone got cheese. It was cheese for free. Why do you think you got free cheese? It was overabundance. And they were paying farmers for those cheeses because they couldn't just toss it. They had an abundance. So they said, why not? Why not the government buy the cheese and then give the cheese to the people? Come on, you I gotta know history. You gotta know history. Everything we do, subsidies for all the farmers, subsidies for different people, subsidies, subsidies, subsidies. Adrian said, nah, the cheese hit on them grills, cheese sandwiches. A lot of us got I remember we used to bring that block of cheese home. We're like, Mom, we got our cheese. Boom. That cheese was like a brick. How do you think America became America? Come on, y'all. Don't let these fools fool you. Socialism, there's nothing wrong with socialism. Every great country in today's modern world has socialism, a part of the formula of its existence economically. Socialism is not a bad word. Only in America that it's been made to look like a bad word but the same people that are saying it's a bad word are using it and doing it. Hmm. Again, socialism is alive and well in America, but these new autocrats want to get rid of all the social programs. They want to get rid because they think socialism is a horrible thing, but 'cause they want you to work for free labor. That's a whole nother subject. We're near the end of our time together. It is time for some motivation for all the wonderful photographers in the building. There's also for all those that just love creativity. Let's see what you guys are saying in here. It says, also, what does the UK know that the American government knows but won't release? Because they sure as hell kicked Andrew out because of the Epstein participation. Now you know there must be something really bad in those Epstein files. When your brother kicks you out of the royal family, come on, you know. And all this is distraction. And did you just hear? The Congress is not coming back until next year. Oh, it must be something really bad in those. And that means so if they're not coming back. That means the Congresswoman of Arizona has not been sworn in yet. Oh man, what is gone? This country is broken, 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 broken. But that's what happens when you let people of greed lead. Kimmy Kim says, I'm still trying to figure out what his MAGA group think they are going to get being rich. Nothing. Anthony says socialism has become a dirty word, even though it's practiced daily across all demographics. The subway system in New York City is subsidized. If there was no subsidy, you would pay lots of money to ride the subway. It's socialism. Hello? Did anyone just sing? We just passed we have if you enter in the city at certain times, different points of the city, congestion pricing, the money from congestion pricing is going towards what? The system. Okay, I could go on and on. I could go on and on. I hope someone got some information today that they learned something today in my share. Mimi's in the building. Hey, Mimi. They kicked him out. She said, Madani, I think she meant they kicked him out and stripped him. Oh, no. She's talking about the Prince. Yeah, Prince Andrew. They stripped him of everything. Now he's living in a house somewhere that the family owns in the district out in the countryside. Lisa says, and did you see Dump say that the Democrats are going to suffer without the snap? Like, why isn't his team giving him the facts? He sounds and is super dumb. The dumb fool is our president. Sorry, I got a little loud there. I got a mic here. I don't need to get loud. Anthony Rowland says powdered milk was good in a bath when you had chicken pox. Jazzy says, I didn't give a hot dog about the Epstein files because they are going to release people with the outrage of a moment and move on. Exactly. I know what you mean. I know when they release them. Amy says, Lisa, his folks in all the red states will suffer and they are not prepared. This is true. Oh, Johnson. We need our Congress back. We need our Congress back. So you know what you got to do? Like Obama says, don't boo, vote. Don't scream and yell, vote. Lisa says, won't swear, don't swear her in. That's right. They don't want to swear her in because she's that extra vote. But guess what? After this election, the Democrats are going to have more than enough votes to get her sworn in because I really do believe the Congress is going back to the Democrats. I do believe it. I do believe it. Lisa says, but he told her to get to work to her constituents. Is he dumb too? She's not legally a congressman or a congressperson. So she has no constituents. This country is insane. That's the deal, y'all. And we will talk about on Thursday. I won't do it tomorrow because tomorrow's to Tuesday. We're going to talk about photography tomorrow. But Wednesday, we're doing a water cooler Wednesday. So we got 2 days to do this. If you have not seen the 60-minute interview with Donald Trump yesterday, or the Orange Man, you may want to take a look at it. There's all kinds of confession going on. Oh, I mean, I'm hoping one day the balance is going to change. The balance we cannot be this unbalanced forever. One day, the Democrats are going to control the House, control the Senate, control the presidency. And when they do, they will be smart enough. I do believe this time around, the Democrats will be smart. They're going to add to the courts to deal with the imbalance, I should say, the imbalance of the courts. And I'm hoping that the Democrats do like South Africa, like all the other countries in the world that have not just, we have 9 justices. We need like 28, 32. So that way you can never have a swing again where Republicans are in control and the Democrats are in control. And also, like other countries around the world, everyone is two terms and you're out. There should never be a Supreme Court for life. This is why our country's messed up. We need an overhaul of this government from the presidency, because now we got to put in rules to stop the presidency from ever being captured like it is today. Someone that does not adhere to the rules or the Constitution. Okay, here we go. Here's something for you wonderful photographers out there and you creatives. For those, this is coming straight from our Patreon page. The Patreon page, my Patreon community who supports what we do here. You are responsible for making this happen. And if you want to join our Patreon page, our Patreon community, join it. Just go to patreon.com and put in Ron Lewis photos and you can support what we do here. Okay, today we're talking about capture the moment. Now, this weekend, I had the opportunity to photograph an amazing photographer here in New York. And it was so much fun yesterday. So much fun. And and I am a believer as a photographer. When we have these opportunities to photograph people or things or events or situations or being artistic and using our camera for whatever message we want to get out into the world. I met a photographer yesterday also at the church that I attended. Yes, and I saw him with this camera, so I had to ask 1,000 questions. I got all in his business. He's like, "No, I'm not on Instagram and blah, 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 but I photograph kids, my first time photographing." And I said, "You're capturing the moments. You're capturing the moments of what is going on in this church service today. That is going to be remembered forever because it's been captured on your camera." So here we go. Capture the moment. Motivation Monday. Capture the moment. Here's a quote. Here's the quote. If you see something that moves you and then snap it, you keep a moment, says Lindy McCartney, Paul McCartney's wife. I do believe this is Linda. If you see something that moves you and then snap it, you keep a moment. I am a believer that we photographers, we freeze time. We freeze the most important moments in the world's history, whether it be personal, whether it be political, whether it be for civil rights or whatever that moment. Maybe it's just grandma getting older, grandma's 70th birthday, grandpa's 90th birthday, and you just want to capture the moment. Here we go. Let's dive in. Photography is more than composition, lighting, or technique. It's about feeling. I'll say that again. Photography is more than composition, meaning all the rules, rule of thirds, leading lines. We always talk about composition. Lighting, whether you're using artificial light or are you using natural light or a combination of the two. Whether you have a brand new camera or you have an old camera, whether you're using a smartphone as your camera or you got a beautiful digital high-end Hasselblad, right? Take all of that away. It is simple. It is all about feeling. When you photograph, at least for me, the best photo shoots, like I had one yesterday, or the best moments when I have my camera and I'm using my camera and I'm photographing something that is usually dear to my heart. Whether it's a homeless person on the street and I want to capture the moment, not because I want to be, salacious, but I want to show humanity. It's about the feeling of the moment. It's about the person. Here we go. The beauty of spontaneous photography is that it allows us to preserve moments that might otherwise slip away. Slip away. Capture the moment while you have it. Capture the moment of you and your daughter. Capture the moment with you and your spouse. Capture the moment with the person you love. Capture the moments. Once the moment is gone, it is gone. A fleeting smile, a quiet reflection, the way light catches a subject just right. These moments we intuitively recognize as special. Yesterday, as my buddy who I did a photo shoot with, we were leaving and the sun, we just happened to come up the stairs and the sun was perfect. The golden hour was perfect. I said, I know the photo shoot is over, but I gotta get another one in. I gotta get another shot in. And Had to get my little camera gear together. And I said, this is why the old folks in photography say, you should never put your camera away until you totally leave the scene or totally are away and going, like when you get back home. Your camera should always be out. And my buddy's like that. His camera is always with him. And so this beautiful moment, the golden light, the sun was in its golden colors, and it was beautiful. Yesterday's sunset was beautiful. And I said, dude, yo, you got to stand right here. Stand right here. I got to get this shot. So I bring this subject up because these moments we intuitively recognize as special. They cannot be repeated. So take the shot, photograph the moment. So, what's your assignment for this week on this Motivation Monday? This week, trust your instincts. All you photographers out there, all you camera shutterbugs. If something moves you, capture it. The magic isn't in perfection, but in preserving what speaks to you. The magic isn't in perfection, but it's in preserving what speaks to you. And may the class say amen. I hope that meant something to you all. I hope it inspires you to get out there and take out your cameras and use them. You are living in the greatest time of history. Every one of us has a camera in our pocket. We have a camera on us at any given moment to preserve time, history, moments. So capture the moment. Okay, if you're in the building, make sure you sign up for our mailing list. Go to ronlewisphotos.com and sign up for the mailing list. There's a prompting that just comes up at the bottom of the screen, usually as soon as you land on the page. Also, if you're looking for an event photographer, I am one, and I do photography for events. I have a big one coming up this week. Oh man, Tuesday is going to be a big event here. I'm going to say here in Brooklyn, because I'm not in Brooklyn right now, but I am going to be in Brooklyn on Thursday for a big event in Park Slope. And I am always hired to do that. And I'm going to have a great time doing it. Love photographing this event, music and people and all the dignitaries and all that, folks. It's going to be great. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad it's this week instead of next week, because next week is supposed to be cold out. Also, thank you, Patreon members. You just saw what we put on the Patreon page. I always put Motivation Mondays, Tip Tuesdays, all the stuff that we do usually ends up in our Patreon community. And again, thank you for supporting. Helps us create amazing content. If you are a free member in the Patreon, step it up. What's $3 a month, right? If you give $3 a month, at least you're giving something, right? Don't be a free member. Become a member and just participate, because that's how we are able to do what we do here. It takes money to be here. And last but not least, you're here. So you're invited to join this YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Those are free. A like is free. A subscribe is free. So do it. Okay, I think we got it all. I think we got it all in today. Let me just get rid of this off the screen. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tip Tuesday. We'll be doing a photography tip, and we'll have our conversations as we normally do. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me today. Let me just make sure I got I see all that. Another great conversation. I see the hands applause. Okay, you guys are engaged. I see Kaz. I see Kimmy Kim. I see you guys. You're engaged. And look, yes, Lisa, I did see you. I saw your photos on your stories, and you saw me send my little hearts. I clicked away. Every time I saw your post, you were snapping away in Williamsburg. I saw you. I was snapping away in Brooklyn on Friday. Captured many memories. Get out there, y'all. Take those cameras in your hands, those cameras in your pockets, and use them. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.